Feel your jaw soften. Your body settles into the chair. And everything, it feels like it's flowing in a new way within our systems. Thank you. Well, I am Leslie. I'm your platform assistant this morning. I'll be assisting Patricia Haller today, and our musicians are Gabriel and Angela. Good morning to everyone who's joining us on YouTube. We're so glad that you're here. And we have a welcome packet for anyone who is here for the first time. So if you would be brave and raise your hand. Our chaplain this morning will bring a welcome packet to you. I don't see any hands. I think we've all been together before. Wonderful. Our prayer chaplain is available for individual prayer after the service in our prayer chapel, which if you leave the sanctuary, it's just 2 left turns. And it's valuable one-on-one time. If you have a concern or a joy, or just need a little bit of connection, our prayer chaplain, Christy, will be there for you for individual prayer. We also have a prayer circle. If you sign up for our prayer circle for healing prayer, they can meet with you if you'd like an appointment, but they will most certainly pray for you if you fill out the form, the request form. And those are right outside the sanctuary at the table by the restrooms. Yes, Marlene, do you have a question? Oh. Oh, I didn't know about that. So is this on our regular Zoom login? Oh, Zoom. I'm sorry. I was thinking YouTube.
Didn't realize I was starting right now. I guess I'll be starting this week then, doing that.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then, so it's kind of to be determined,
Yes, it will.
but it's happening very soon. So just stay on the edge of your seats, everyone. Well, we begin our service by lighting our Christ candle, and I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I like for you to be able to focus on the candle while I'm reading the words. With gratitude, we gather as the unique expressions of the divine presence that we are. We pause to feel into this life force that invites us to be a creative partner with it. We now allow it to fully embody our whole being. We also sense and feel the connection that exists between each one of us, the universal web of intelligence that we partake in as the human race. As we appreciate our web of connectivity with one and all, moving from a me to a we focus, we express our desire to unite with all humanity through the energy of compassion and kindness. We invite this energy to now rise up within us while extending outward to connect with Mother Earth and all sentient beings. This uniting spirit of oneness, of the one I am presence, we call the Christ. We light this candle now as a reminder that we are all blessed by being a part of this one presence. It is the truth, and with joy we own it. Amen. And I invite you to stand for our first community song.
I release and I let go, and let the Spirit run my
while you're standing, greet your neighbor with a handshake or a hug or a namaste bow. I'll do the gong again.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. And as we're taking our seats, I invite you to just take a deep breath and close your eyes and go to that place inside. That beautiful place inside where the Christ of you resides. Charles Fillmore once wrote, "We must learn to let go, to give up, to make room for the things we have prayed for and desired." At another time he wrote, "Here is a mental treatment guaranteed to cure every ill that flesh is heir to. Sit for half an hour every night and mentally forgive everyone against you have any ill will. Allow the past to be the past." And Ernest Holmes once wrote, "Never limit your view of life by any past experience, for the past is exactly that, the past. Dwelling on the past, no matter how gratifying it may be, will only hamper the flow of God to and through you." So this morning, we are talking about letting go of the past, letting go of things. So I invite you now to think of one thing that you are ready to let go of. A hurt, an ill, any type of pain. And at the same time, maybe there's something that was very glorious in your life that is also ready to be let go of. so that something as good or better will have room to come into your life. And just taking a moment and going to that deeper place within. Just spend one moment loving you. Loving you for all you've come through. Loving you for all that was. And loving you for who and what you are today. And now, staying in that beautiful place, Leslie will read our prayer list for today.
And we set our intention. Together we set the intention that as each name on our prayer list is read, that person is bathed in love and their highest good comes to them. Jody Kress, Jill Wright, Robin Waterbury, Stephanie Jeffrey, Alejandro, Susan Healy Harmon, David Kirshner, John and Bethany, Russell Wheeler, Nora Caruso, Jacob Peskin, Patrick Adamson, Cole Freedy, J.W., Bo Littig, Mary Johnson, Jim Connolly, Nellie, Joette Triber, Greg Shizapin, for the passing of Christy Monroe and for her family. And prayers, of course, for all in Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, and around the world. For anyone who may be suffering in any way or degree, we hold them in the light, and we know that there is some peace in that. Amen. Is there anyone else that you'd like to hold in prayer? You may say their names aloud or to yourself. And then we say together, there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. And our daily word for today is one of my favorites, grace. It covers so much and can be so soothing. Grace. I trust grace is my constant blessing. As an expression of God, I need not ever worry about earning God's approval or favor. Grace is my assurance that I am one with God and heir to all God is. I know oneness during times of deep spiritual communion, understanding. I am fully human and fully divine. Through this awareness, my experience of grace deepens. I understand grace as more than a gift from God and begin to see it as an aspect of my divine inheritance. Grace is not a blessing I need to hope for. It is the blessing that I can count on. It is trusting I will have what I need when I need it, that my support will come to me even from the most unlikely channels. Grace is knowing that God is with me and within me throughout my life. And I'll invite you to say this with me. I trust grace is my constant blessing. Together, I trust grace is my constant blessing. Amen. And as we stay in this quiet space, Patricia will lead us in meditation.
So once again, taking a beautiful deep breath in, and going back to that place where the Christ of you resides. I invite you to allow yourself to go to that place where you are a part of the etheric realm that is all around us. And being in that place, I invite you to picture a chair sitting before you, facing you. Today is completely about letting go of the past to move forward in your life. Is there someone from your past that you hold anger or resentment toward? Or do you feel that you yourself have done something toward another that you still feel guilt about? Either way, invite that person in to sit in that chair facing you. Tell them all the things that you want to say to them. If it's someone that you feel you've hurt in some way, apologize to them. And have them speak to you and share with you how they feel. Just have a conversation with them in your mind. This is you meeting them on a soul-to-soul, heart-centered basis. When you feel that the conversation has culminated, just imagine the two of you getting up and sharing a hug with each other. And allow the energy that you've been holding to just dissipate and be gone. And for those that you hold any anger or resentment toward, for what they have said or done to you, just do the same thing. Have that person sitting in the chair and share all the feelings that you are holding inside of you about the way they have treated you in the past. Then let them have their say. Keep the conversation going until you have resolved it. And you get an apology from that person. And once again, once the energy is cleared between the two of you, soul to soul, just imagine getting up and sharing a hug with that person. As you clear the energy between the two of you, it may take time, but this does happen. And now, taking a deep breath, come back to this time and this place. You may not have had time this morning to fully clear whatever is between you and another. But I invite you to continue this at home and do it as often as you can until that energy is cleared. It may take several times, but the energy will clear. And now, taking a deep breath in, and as you let it out, just open your eyes And please stay seated for our next song from Angela and Gabriel.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease, and may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. I am Patricia Haller, as most of you know, licensed Unity teacher here at Unity in the Gold Country and the spiritual leader of Unity Clear Lake Center, all the way across the state in Clear Lake. Well, here we are. We are actually 1 month away from Christmas Eve and 5 weeks away from the whole new year. Wow, has this year gone by fast? But this is the time that we actually begin to look back on the year and take stock of everything that's happened to us and how we handled our life during, each of the times, the major events that have gone on in our life during this past year. So looking back is fine, but do we get stuck in our looking back? Or do we look at what happened and then take the lessons from those things that we learned and then turn around and move on with our lives? If we were to read Genesis 19, we would read the story of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And in that story, Lot was told to leave the city with his family and to not look back. Of course, Lot's wife didn't follow those orders. And as we know, according to the Bible, she was turned into a pillar of salt. However, the phrase pillar of salt actually is just a metaphor for that which indicates how we can become frozen in time, frozen in place. Our thoughts can be frozen onto one thing. Salt in those days was used as a preservative for food, as it dried out the food and allowed it to be kept for months, but it kept it in stasis. So in a sense, Lot's wife was turned into a sense of stasis in holding her to where she couldn't move forward. So metaphysically, in one way, Sodom and Gomorrah actually represent what Fillmore calls is the unbalanced pleasures in life. And in the case of Lot's wife, when she was fleeing from Sodom and Gomorrah and looked back, she was actually looking back at her life of pleasure that, according to Fillmore, had become unbalanced, but was still drawing her in. And the aspect of her turning to salt just represents that part of her that wanted to preserve her time of pleasure and couldn't release her desire for that type of life. So, there's no one listening to this today who doesn't at some level wish for the good old days. In other words, in the way we remember them. Maybe not how they actually occurred, but the way we remember them. But we want those good old days, and sometimes, because now maybe there's a physical challenge that you're going through. And you wish for the time in the life where you were young and vibrant and in great physical shape. And maybe you had a really sharp mind growing up. And now you notice that your mind isn't quite as sharp as what it used to be. And I can attest to that one. And maybe you no longer have the energy that you once had, and you long for that youthful energy once again. There's a multitude of reasons that we could be looking back and remembering the good old days. And metaphysically, Sodom and Gomorrah could actually represent all of that for Lot's wife. Maybe the parties they went to, because remember, in Sodom and Gomorrah, they were wealthy people. They entertained, they went places. She could get all the jewels and all the silks and all those things. So maybe all those parties, all those beautiful clothes, the youthful exuberance, the beautiful everything, the time when she was honored as somebody. We really don't know what Lot's wife was thinking when she turned around and looked back. But the question is, what about you? Do you still long for the days when you were somebody at work in the community? And I'm not necessarily talking about being the president or CEO of a company or the leader of some organization, but I'm also speaking about having had a job where you felt you were useful in life, that you were making a difference in some way in the lives of the people around you. So are you now holding on to all those memories and still living in that world of today in this time and place? In a way, it's nice to remember all those good things about life and how you helped out the world around you, or all the times that you did something where you brought such happiness to someone else. And if used correctly, all this remembrance can actually be a motivating force to assist you to find something today that actually brings you that same satisfaction. And on the flip side of that is how we hold on to all the wrongs that people did to us growing up, in our early days of working, making a living, our marriages, whatever. We could keep thinking about all the things that happened to us, not only in the far past, but maybe something just happened to you this last week that you're still ruminating over. Or we can think about all the times that we did something to someone in the past and how wrong we were. And we keep feeling the guilt about that event. So during our meditation, I shared with you just one of the many, many ways that we are able to clear the past from our lives. But why do we want to do this? And the main reason is that we need to be in this now moment. To have all the greatest good of God to come to us, we need to be present here and now. If we're living in the past or in the future, then we're not in the now moment to accept all the good that God has for us. And if we're not present in the now, we cannot be fully present with the thankfulness and the gratitude for all that we actually do have right here and now. November is the month of Thanksgiving, and of course, this is the last Sunday of November. And we just celebrated a beautiful, beautiful Thanksgiving time with family and friends. And Thanksgiving is the time for being grateful for what we have and what we're receiving. If we look to the past and remember all the times that we had great health, or times we contributed to the world in some way, or that we felt productive in some way, and we feel the gratitude for those days, then we are actually in the flow of connection with Source. But if we're wallowing in the past, wishing we could go back to that time and not wanting to be in this time and place, then we are actually cutting ourselves off from all the good and the wonders that God still has for us. So no matter how many years we have under us, if we are still here on this earth, which as I look around, each and every one of you are, we can still be of service right here and now. And how can you do that? The question is, what is your calling to be of service right now? And one of the greatest ways that we can be of service to humanity each and every day is to bless everyone you see. Matt Kahn once stated that if you want something in your life, bless others with that. If you want greater health, then bless everyone you see with greater and better health. If you want more financial prosperity in your life, then everyone you see, you bless with greater financial prosperity. If you want more love in your life, then bless everyone else with more love. If you just want more overall greater good for your life, then bless everyone you see with greater good in their lives. The main thing is that we are all one in Source. If you want something and you bless others with that, since we are all one, you're actually blessing yourself with that very thing. But you can't do that if you're still attached to the past in some way. Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt by looking back. In other words, her mind became dried out or preserved to the events of the past. And she was unable to move forward in time to look at what was ahead of her. She was unable to move forward in her life. So no matter how many years we've been on this planet, no matter what we've done in the past or what was done to us in the past, we must continue to move forward in our lives. You know, very few people have been able to reach the pinnacle of possibility in their life by the time it comes for them to leave this earth plane. And that means we all still have a lot to open up to before we leave this planet. And maybe you did have great health in the past. Maybe you did do some wondrous things for humanity in your life in the past. Maybe you touched the lives of hundreds of people in some way in the past. Whatever the past was, it was in the past. Today is today. And there's still much growth to be done in all of our internal lives. And maybe that's why, for most of us anyway, at this time in our later years, we've actually been given the opportunity to not have to do so much work out there. But we've been given the time to go within and make that greater connection to Source, to God, to the Christ within you. And at this point, for a lot of us today, we're actually moving closer to the end of our time down here on this planet. Now, we may still have 20 or 30 years, and for some of you, you actually may have 50, 60, who knows? But right now, it's time for us to take our minds and hearts off the past and be more present in this now moment so that we can accept more and more of the goodness that we have from being one with Source. The greater connection that we have with God, with Source, the greater the energy of God can come into our lives. As the greater energy comes in, the more our bodies heal, the more prosperity comes in, the more things just move into alignment for us in ways we don't fully understand. Allow the past to be the past. Give thanks for all that has happened to you because you learned something from everything that did happen. Be grateful for all the lessons and then come back to the here and now. Be thankful for all of the gifts that you are receiving today, right here, right now. And be thankful for all the time you have left to make that greater connection with God, with Source. Begin to look forward to the time when you have made the deeper connection with God and you feel all the energy of God flowing through you, enlivening your entire life, guiding you, and healing all that needs to be healed. The other day I was reading a story of a man who in his late 60s and early 70s, he had become so crippled he was in a wheelchair. And then he began to give thanks for the presence and power of God inside of him. And 4 years later, he was walking 2 miles every day, only by giving thanks for the presence and power of God within him. You know, in 5 weeks, we are going to have our burning bowl ceremony. And that's a time when we write everything down that we want to release on a little piece of paper, and we burn it that day. You have 5 weeks to think about all the things that you would like to release from your past. I invite you to do the process that we did during meditation today, so that 5 weeks from now, when we're doing our burning bowl, you can literally write that name or event down on a paper, and it will be gone. Become like LUT. Allow the past to go and continue moving forward to your greatest good. Next week, we will begin the Advent season, the time where we once again look forward to the rebirthing of the Christ within. And my wish for each and every one of you as we prepare ourselves for this coming Christmas season is that each of you be blessed with a complete release of the past and a full connection with God, with Source, right here and right now. Much love, everyone. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. I can't hold it back. I am so grateful everyone is here today. And I hope that you feel as good in this space as I do. because it just feels fantastic. There is a collective energy of love here that's so real. So there, I didn't hold it back. All righty, it is time for our love offering. And I'm going to grab mine real quick. And I invite you, as you prepare your love offering, to infuse it with your full heart of gratitude. Give yourself that experience of, as you are giving with your heart, you are also saying thank you, thank you, thank you. It is such a vital part of the giving that we do, to remember that we are in this beautiful, prosperous flow. It is our financial support, it's our love support, it's our caring for each other. It's all a part of that flow. I am so grateful. I invite you to say our prosperity blessing with me. Prosperity flows to us and through us in unending streams of plenty. The inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. And so it is. And I'll have it on record. I'm sorry I've been off script, Reverend Jerry. Please forgive me. And now we have music by Gabriel and Angela.
It's all about allowing peace within, in absolute surrender, so serenity begins. For when the storm subsided and calm becomes the way, it's all about allowing it to stay. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you seize the struggle and love pours through your heart, it's all about allowing it to start. Now feel it warm and shining, new with promise, strong, undying love, different than any you have known. And now the seed is sown. It's all about allowing change to show, then living in the moment like it's all you'll ever know. And though it won't be easy, you can truly say you've tried, for it's all about allowing it inside. And now the seed is sown. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you seize the struggle all about allowing it to start.
We bless these love offerings to unity in the Gold Country, to our community, and to unity worldwide. And we know that in this giving, we are also richly blessed. Okay. I'm going to spring it on you. Do we have November birthday people here? It's birthday Sunday. Oh, come on. Really? There, thank you, Lindsay. I should have brought the list in. Well, come on up. There. Now, Patricia, you're tomorrow, right?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now.
Thank you, and I will add that we celebrated my mom's birthday yesterday, and then Annie's Somerville was on the 23rd. So we have some missing people, but we blessed them. Okay, it's time for our announcements, and I'll invite Marlene up to get us started. I do want to bring up that prayer idea. So is there going to be a prayer circle that starts this week or next for a half hour?
It depends on what fits Patricia's schedule as to when she'd like to start it, but she has volunteered on Wednesdays from
Okay.
11 to 11:30 to do a Zoom prayer for anyone who needs to or wants to pray with her.
Okay, so 11 to 11:30 on Wednesdays, Patricia will do a Zoom prayer for anyone who would like to spend that time in prayer together.
Let's start the third Wednesday of December.
Perfect. Third Wednesday of December, and that means it'll be in the e-bulletin too. Okay.
So I've just come up here today to tell you how excited I am after seeing all the results from the roundtable discussions last week. There are papers, summaries all over the place that you can pick one up if you want, or you can go to your e-bulletin and see what the results were, but a lot of good things happened. And two of them are already occurring. You might have noticed as you walked in the door today that on your left there is a whiteboard that has a list of the upcoming events in case you would like to sign up and help in some way. I know a lot of us think that it's magic that everything ends up turning out just right whenever there's an event, but actually it's because behind the scenes there are a lot of people volunteering to help. So one of the activities is on December 6th, we're going to be setting up Christmas decorations in here in the sanctuary. Excuse me. There's a sign-up area to sign up for that. And also on this coming Wednesday, the 29th, Anne Marie is leading the swag making. There's a sign-up for helping with that. In addition to that, this is the traditional time of year that we think about a staff gift. So this is all totally voluntary, but if you would like to contribute to the staff gift for Jerry and Leslie, there will be envelopes underneath the newcomers application, both in the sanctuary and out in the hallway, as well as you can just turn in a contribution, either cash or a check, to Leslie in an envelope, and we will collect all that and give them a gift at the end of the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. Okay. So I will circle back to the decorating of the sanctuary. We've had amazing teams do this every year, and we have a ton of decorations upstairs in the attic. There is a sign-up sheet if you'd like to be here to help. It's one of those things that we can knock it out in one day if we have a bunch of helpers and creative minds, and we'll hopefully wrestle a team leader into that. But please do consider signing up, because you'll find that it's a lot of fun, along with the end result is so appreciated. In the past, we've done the entire church, and this year we're going to focus on the sanctuary and maybe kind of minimal in the entryway. So I'm not begging you to sign up, but just about. We do have the handmade caramel corn available in the bookstore for $8 a bag. If you have a road trip, a movie night, or something like that coming up, popcorn is right there. Kalyani will be here for spiritual exploration on Tuesday, December 5th, and that's from 10:30 to noon. And she will be doing, she's calling it Tuning to the Heart. Experience joy and harmony within through song, chant, and meditation. An invitation to access the wisdom of the Lord's Prayer and other easy songs with Kalyani. So that'll be a great Tuesday morning. Jeannie Zandy will be here on December 1st. That's a Friday from 6:30 to 8:30. Jeannie is an amazing mystic. She's been here before. She has a great following. That will be $20 at the door, so just arrive at 6:30 or a little bit earlier. The Way of Mastery started an evening course again, and they started from the beginning of the book this last Monday. The group meets at 6 o'clock, and it has been determined that they will be hybrid, so it's in person and on Zoom. So you can be here and share the in-person time, but there'll be Zoom signups, and some of us will be with you on Zoom. But it's The Way of Mastery. I actually learned this, or was influenced by Sydney. I'd had the book for years, but the difference is experiencing with a group of people. It's not just the context of the book, but it's the sharing, the personal sharing, personal interpretations and perceptions that end up making it such a deep and rich experience. So give that some consideration, and I think we do have a couple of volumes left in the bookstore if you don't own one. Christmas. Okay, so the swags that Anne Marie is going to help us with, could I have a show of hands anyone who is thinking that they'd like to do that? It's going to be this Wednesday, the 29th. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have at least a half dozen. That's good, just so that we know, supply-wise, what to prepare for. It will be at 10 o'clock here at UGC. Bring any ribbons or decorations that you would like to have yours personalized with. All of the greenery that you need will be here, and I think the wire. Okay. Well, that was just me, They're going to have greenery, but I always figure it's a little better to have too much than not enough. So no, you don't have to bring greenery, and some people don't have that easily accessible. I think they're harvesting it at Marlene's house, and so there should be plenty available. Thank you, Christy. You read the e-bulletin. Thanks. Our Change for Change recipient for the remainder of November is the Food Bank of Nevada County. That means that all of the non-perishable food that we've collected will be delivered to them at the end of November, and then Change for Change will also be given to them at the end of November. As of December 1st, we will then be collecting food throughout December for the Interfaith Food Bank. So Please, as you're shopping, don't stop picking up a few extra non-perishable items and bring it and put it in the bucket. Thank you very much. We had the pleasure of delivering meals on Thanksgiving this year, and for those of us who are blessed in our lives, it certainly balances the experience when you give meals to someone else, and their gratitude is so apparent. And that's what we do when we collect these non-perishable foods as well. We are making sure that people in our community have a better meal than they would otherwise. You guys, you're done with me. Let's say our unity prayer. I'm sorry. Participants and volunteers, we want to thank you so much because none of this happens without the volunteers. I see how many countless hours you all put in. You are so deeply appreciated. Today, Patricia Holler, our speaker, Wah, our musicians, Gabriel and Angela. Our greeters were Julianne Boger and Carly Towsley. Our ushers are Linda Lou Haynes and Carolyn Homan. Our chaplain is Christy Stevens. Our hospitality was Patricia Plank and Lita Stone. Our sound is Drew Towsley. Thank you. And I love Kelly waves every time. I love it. Our PowerPoint live stream is Kelly Garmeyer. Bookstore volunteer is Patricia Leviton. And our altar was done by Lita Spoto. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Or it was done by Sydney? Oh. All right, let's stand for our unity prayer.
Now, before we start this, since I'm up here this morning, instead of saying at the end, and all is well, we say, and all is wonderful. We yell it out and we raise our hands. Okay, let's start.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is.
And all is wonderful. Yay, God.
I'll be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, love be with you, love be with you, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. Whole new life for you and me. Take a past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you, love be with you, love be with you, love be with you. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you,
God bless you all and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the week.